Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaching Show. I'm Todd Robinson with the head coach and athletic director of the Gilmer Buckeyes, Mr. Alan Metzel. Well, congratulations, Coach. Back-to-back district champions.
We're pretty excited. We really are. That was exactly what we wanted to take place, and our guys rose to the occasion, and I feel like played the best of the year.
Well, we were a little bit shocked, not that we didn't expect to play well or we didn't expect to have that game circled, but the level of execution was about as clean and flawless as I've seen us play in years.
Right. I would agree. It was they rose to the occasion. That they've been working towards that. I felt like the week before, even though it was against maybe a lesser opponent record-wise and that sort of thing, we've been getting there. Last week I think our completion percentage was at a little over 80%. Right. The other night it was at 79. But when you're able to complete passes and get open and protect at that level and that consistently, it makes you pretty effective. And I was thrilled to get to see our guys play like that.
Yeah, and I thought it was across the board in all three phases. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just offense. It wasn't
no
just
doubt.
defense.
No doubt.
Even from a special team standpoint, I think probably if line judges would have called a couple of these like this, that we wouldn't have given up a couple of, I don't know if you want to call them long returns, but we pinned them exactly where you wanted to pin them. I mean, you had to be really nitpicky to find anything to complain about, that's for sure.
I agree. All three phases played well. Great effort, great energy on the sidelines. That was a district championship level effort by the team.
Well, congratulations. I thought it was great. Let's
Thank
dive
you.
in and review all of the – you may have 2 hours of great plays here because I think from a highlight standpoint, all you can do is just rewind and watch the game again.
There were a handful of good ones, and so I tried to not make it too voluminous, but this was our first offensive play of the night. I thought this set a tone, went with a screen to Rowan. The lineman, there's Rowan right there in the middle, and our lineman did a great job of getting out and getting up on their second level defenders. You can see the lines there, and then Rowan gets right up under the wave, gets up the hash, and then runs to grass. You can see Parker Gilo down here at the bottom warding off the cornerback. So great start to the game. That's exactly what we wanted to accomplish there. We end up going down and scoring on that drive. Here's our second series, and we got another big play. You've got Jay Rockwell out wide. We felt like we could get him singled up on a matchup we liked, and so we basically sent him on a go route, went with an empty set. Linemen do a great job picking up their defensive front. Jay gets behind the defender. Brandon drops it on him. Huge play to get down into scoring area again. So here we go. I'm going to show you, I believe this is Ashton Haynes here, on a run inside. Take a look at our guys pulling and creating a great hole. You're going to see our receivers out here. You've got Parker Gilo blocking on the edge. You've got Rowan Fluellen blocking his safety. So they're blocking at the second level. So we had our guys up front taking care, creating the opening, and then you had our receivers downfield blocking as well. So here you can see our double team. Watch at the point of attack. We get him moved right there. And then here comes our fullback to take care of their linebacker. Look at that hole right there. Yeah. That's just, anybody can run through that. That's a great job. And then, of course, Ashton outruns their safety and gets into the end zone. But excellent job, I felt like, at the point of attack. That was what we were really excited about. Here's another run by Ashton, and it's a 30-plus yard run, but I want to show you some of the other guys and the jobs they're doing. We're going to zero in here on Braylon Ward, who's playing left tackle right now. And watch him. He's going to double down inside, and then watch what he does to their linebacker right here in taking care of the second-level defender. So, one, he helps the center move the nose guard and then moves up and seals that linebacker, which creates that opening for Ashton. Now, then look at the top of your screen. Watch Parker Gilo. He puts on a clinic on what it looks like to just stay with your block downfield and then pancakes the guy right there at the end. just tremendous effort. Those are the things that a lot of times in the middle of the game, people don't notice. They don't see those things because you're watching the ball. It happens fast. And when you're going back and looking at tape, you can really appreciate the effort that is being given.
Absolutely, especially Braylon, who played on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely, nose guard.
And dominant. And
right.
That's something that you have not seen in a while, especially against the Pleasant Grove team. You know, we played great last year, don't get me wrong,
right.
but we dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides.
Correct. And that's what one of our focus points for this week was to be the most physical team, and we were that.
Absolutely.
I was pleased with that. Here you're going to see on defense, Amaro Arona and Derek Borda. I've got them both circled. They're going to do a run here, and Amaro's going to come off the side and just hit the guy right off the bat, and then Derek comes in and cleans him up. Those are the type things that I'm referencing when I'm talking about the physicality of the game. It was just guys were really physical at the point of attack. Here you're going to see Pleasant Grove. They're in a passing situation here. Rowan's playing corner and does a great job reading his route, plays out to the side, and then when they put the ball up in the air, if Rowan's around, it's
his ball.
Very likely he's going to end up with it as opposed to the opponent.
We talked about a little bit during the game too, your expectations in terms of they really kind of thought they were going to come off out and catch us off guard and come and throw the ball. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure we weren't surprised, but we weren't surprised for long.
Right.
After 3 plays, mm-hmm. the adjustments were made, and just like the play that you just showed, mm-hmm. it was, please throw it.
Right.
We would love to see you try to throw that again, and,
sure.
and that's what happens.
Well, we definitely didn't anticipate that their game plan would be to throw it as much as they did. But like you say, in the course of a game, you have to adjust and make changes. As much as anything, it's the communication. And I thought the secondary did a super job from those first few plays on of making sure everybody was in the right place and reading their keys, and that pretty much wasn't an issue from that point on. This next play, we've got a sack by Derek Borda. He had one of his best games of the year, I would say. Watch him get off the ball here, fights through the block, and then comes in and sacks the quarterback. He's a relentless player, high energy player, very emotional player, but his teammates love the way he goes hard, and he really came through the other night.
I'm glad he's on our team.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, exactly. Here's a touchdown run by Ledalyn Jackson. Ledalyn's just really on a tear right now, playing well. Great job on his cut. You know, if you take a look right here, there's several guys who actually make it into the backfield, and he sticks his foot and accelerates out of there, outruns the safety, tries to get up and make a play. Excellent run by Ledalyn. Between he and Ashton, he's given us a real 1-2 punch there. You can see him here stick his foot and come out the back door, stiff arm, and into the end zone. So we were enjoying being able to rotate them and keep them fresh, and it just keeps them playing fast.
Yeah, as we say up in the press box, when you come and see a Michael Colbert run late in the game, mm-hmm. it's just an embarrassment of riches mm-hmm. in terms of talent in the backfield for sure.
No doubt, that's for sure. Here you've got a sack by Matthew Burton. Watch Matthew here, he's circled here. This is like putting on a clinic on a pass rush move. Watch him get off the ball, rip through, rip inside the block by the wing, and then just run over the quarterback. I'm gonna let it play again. That's exactly how you want it to look from your 9 technique right there.
It was that specific play. We kind of had an open press box, so you could kind of hear what everyone was saying when we were up in the press box. And let's just say that some people attended some prayer breakfasts early in the morning, because what Matt Burton displayed all night, he just was a terror all night long.
He was even when he wasn't making the tackle, he was taking 2 and 3 blockers. And so their pulling guards would be running the buck sweep, and they were bouncing off every which way and creating these pile-ups where then the linebackers could run in and make the tackle. So excellent job on his part for sure. This is another defensive lineman for us. This is Andrew Parker. He's playing nose, and he's going to be battling a double team. Quarterback steps up in the pocket, and then Andrew comes off and grabs a hold and gets him down. So I could have put a handful of Matt highlights in here, quite frankly, but I wanted to be able to show you how Derek was doing and Amaro was doing and Andrew was doing and, of course, Matt. They really dominated the line, and that was critical. Anytime you play Pleasant Grove, that's where it all starts and ends, right, with their offensive style. This is a little bit later in the game, and they drive down and get inside the 5 here, and I just thought this was an amazing job. Watch Kendall Jackson here. I'm going to circle him right there. Watch the read he makes and how he slices in and stops the ball carrier for no gain on this play right there.
Yeah.
That's a tremendous job of reading his keys and, as the linebacker coach would call it, his fit, his place that he has to fit in the scheme and stop him. And on the very next play, we pick off a pass.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're talking about a 7-point tackle there. You know, he made them play another play, and then we pick off the pass.
Several times they looked up in 1st and goal at the 5, and they walked away with no points every time.
Right. That was an awesome job. I love how our guys, even when we get our backs to the wall, they just keep fighting.
Keep playing.
They keep fighting. And that's another thing I didn't mention earlier, but, you know, our defense had stopped them on the 1, and, you know, we end up they punt, we end up on the 1, and we had a 99-yard touchdown drive. So
it looked like you guys were looking at all that green grass and saying, that's a whole lot of statistic out there we're fixing to go put on the stat sheet.
That was good. That was good. It was good that we were taking advantage. Last highlight I have here is Michael Colbert. You had already alluded to him. Here he is at running back. Tremendous job by the line and the fullback here, creating the hole. And then, of course, he just found it and hit the jets and got into the end zone. I'll go to the end zone view to take a look at it. But you're going to see double teams, and then you're going to see Amaro kick out here. There's the guard, Lucas Cano, and then here comes Amaro on his block on the linebacker, and it just creates that hole, and away he goes.
Yeah, great cut. And the play immediately before this was also a really great run by Michael. And again, up in the press box, you heard a comment of, that's the backup?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's 4 more guys behind him too. But the level of confidence I thought that we played with is something that I have not seen in a while. I made the mention on the air. I kind of had a flashback back to those 2014, 2009 Stump Godfrey-led teams where literally the W was in the column before we got off the bus, and that's how our guys felt. I thought they were relaxed before the game. I thought they were looking forward to it, and I didn't sense any kind of season fatigue. It was actually the opposite. They seemed more excited and relaxed and looking forward to playing. And I don't know if the weather's turned or something, but somewhere a flip has been switched with this team, and I would hate to be a defensive coordinator trying to scout us right now.
Well, that's, you know, as we move into this phase 3, those are the things that you want a mature team to do. You know, you want that mature team to go, okay, now here we go. You know, now we take our game to the next level. And it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. And I think part of it is what you said. There has to be an enjoyment of doing this. That's one of the worst enemies of a team, is the fatigue, not necessarily physical. It can be physical, but there's a fatigue that sets in of just tired of playing, you know, tired of being around and doing the routines of practice and so forth. And a mature team is able to find the enjoyment in the relationships, in the challenges, the setting goals, new goals for themselves, and so forth. They're able to I think Bill Russell used to talk about it, stay curious, to stay alive, you know. And this group, I believe, is reaching that place, which is exciting, because I think we have more upside to go.
Cody, I do too. I do too. Cody had said before the pregame, he mentioned to me, hey, it's the last time that I got to be here. And the shoebox of a dressing room that we were in, as you well know, is what he was referring to. But 3 or 4 guys around him that were seniors heard him say that. And what they understood was, wow, there's not a whole lot longer we get to do this together. Let's go have some fun.
That's right.
And I just felt a relaxed, focused, and we're about to go show what we've worked so hard all these years to do. And I mean, to a man, everybody played up.
I agree.
I mean, I think you saw it in the physicality, but not one time was there ever any thought of we're in Pleasant Grove and we haven't had great experiences here with this group of kids. I thought it was just like next. And, that's exciting to see, not just from a fan standpoint, but when you know the kids and you want them to have that experience.
Absolutely, we do. Yes.
What's in front of them the next couple of weeks here, I think is getting ready to be special, and you can just feel it. And I first trophy in the trophy time, and obviously Thursday we got a short week this week. How does that affect your preparation, knowing that number one, it's a short week for by district. We've got Mahia at 7:30 in Lindale on Thursday night. But it also builds in, assuming that you can take care of business, an extra day on the back end to get ready for your next opponent. Kind of talk about the differences and the value of having the experience of, we've done this before, because something tells me you kind of already knew that Thursday night game would be a great setup. Walk us through that mentality.
Well, you're right. It puts a little more pressure on you this week, but you gain in the long run if you get to the next round. I think that as much as we've gotten to play in postseason, our guys can handle that. We played a Thursday night game to start the season. We've had times where we have adjusted, so they handle that pretty well. We look at it, we'll go a Monday practice, which is our mental day, and then on a short week, we'll go Monday, Wednesday practice, and then our Thursday practice. So we skip our Tuesday is the way we adjust with it. And I think that there's enough within what we've set up in our structure where you're getting everything covered still. And here you are, week 11. You hope you've built a big enough base to where you can handle that. And it's just like another week. And honestly, it's kind of a good thing, I think, because it's the guys get to turn around and play again. And so there's an excitement of, oh man, we're already ready to play again. And so, anyway, we just want to look at it from all the positive standpoints and don't worry about anything. What might be a negative. So I'm listening to you the things that we look at and say, hey, these are the things that we want to do. We're excited to get to play in Lindale. We played there this year. We played in the playoffs there last year. And we're going to focus in this weekend on Mahia and the strengths and weaknesses they have, and try and exploit the weaknesses and play well.
Well, for a long time now, you've hoped that you're going to be in this position. Now we are. The second half of the season, or the second third, if you want to say, literally couldn't have gone any better. You go undefeated through district, you bring home another district trophy. Now the third phase starts with the playoffs. You've kind of been able to watch and a little bit predict what teams were going to kind of be there. Talk a little bit about Mahia. That's not a team that's unknown to us. We've seen them through the years. I think we kind of had an inkling that Mahia might be the team that we were going to get to play. What are we looking at when we look at Mahia as our first by district opponent?
They're a spread team on offense. They'll run a lot of the same sets that we do, and they're an odd front on defense. So a lot of their defense looks like ours. So from a standpoint of preparation, it'll help our scout teams because that's what we run, And so whereas when you're playing a Pleasant Grove or a Pittsburgh, that's completely different, and it can be a fiasco trying to get a group of young guys to run that, you know. So for us, there's a familiarity there, and so you want to start, for us looking at film, we're going to be looking at people, and we're going to be looking at, okay, who are their best players, who's their best lineman, who's their best defensive lineman, what's the secondary look like, who's their top corner, those kind of things, and we want to identify those things. But they've got some athleticism. I think they've gotten better as the year has progressed. They had a coaching change right before the season started.
Exactly.
And so they have a coach that was on the staff and took over the interim head coach, and he's been great to deal with, Coach Noel, and I've really enjoyed talking with him. You can tell he's excited that they were able to hold it together and get in.
Right.
So they're, in his mind, they're headed in the right direction, and so congratulations to him and the job that they've done to put themselves in this position.
Yeah, we've had lots of great experiences with the folks from Mahia. Obviously, the head coach from Pittsburgh was in Mahia before, so we've kind of got a lot of insights, and they've certainly seen a lot of the Buckeyes over the last 20 years, and it's not really gone very well for folks from Mahia when they run into the Buckeyes. The guru Joe Dodd will have all the stats for us, but talk about that in terms of entering the playoffs and expectations, and how, especially these next couple of weeks, opponents are potentially preparing to go take on those guys with the G on the helmet.
Well, again, no matter who we play, we always try and create the mantra of, it doesn't matter who's on the schedule, we're trying to get better. And that keeps you from, putting someone who's good up as too good, and maybe someone that you're physically better than, where you overlook them. We're focusing on the things that we've got to improve on. And that's how we're trying to stay level in our preparation. And I think you're seeing that. I think you're seeing that through the end of the year. So as we get into these next several weeks, we recognize in order to play Week 16, we've got to continue to move forward. And so whether it's eliminating penalties, whether it's continuing to play at a fast rate and high execution like we did the other night, whatever the case may be, we want to work on those goals that we're going to set this week, and then we're going to go for them. And it wouldn't matter who we're playing, if it was Alabama or Georgia or whoever else, those are the things you want to accomplish. And so it takes out so much of, well, is it so-and-so or is it so, or what seed are they in the playoff pool, or those things are a distraction.
Right.
And so we want to stay intense and level in our preparation. And so those are the things we'll try and do this week.
Well, I'm very thankful that the only guys we'll play from here on in that have G's on their helmet is us.
Yeah.
And not face that Georgia defense.
No doubt.
But I got to say, I don't know how you can be any more excited or any happier than where we are right here, or that even at the beginning of the year, if you could have said pick one spot where you'll be healthy and set up and have everybody right where they need to be physically, mentally, and in terms of especially the execution side, because that was a display on Friday night. Congratulations. That's as well as I've seen us play in a long time.
Thank you.
And I can tell you that a lot of folks in that press box, we had good grub. I mean, we always get fed well and have great hospitality when we're in Pleasant Grove, but it is an open press box. And I have not heard the word wow used more often in one spot in a 2-hour period than I did on Friday night. And it was just a good thing for us to be in that press box again, and we're saying it about us.
That's a good thing. That is a good thing, and I'm grateful, and we did enjoy the game.
Well, it's time for the Army to come out just in Lindale on Thursday. It's trophy time, folks. This is a special group of guys, and we need the Army to come out and support them. I was very pleased to look up and see, a packed side of the stadium.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, they were loud, into it. With every call, every big play, every hit, you just felt the emotion from behind you in the stands. It was awesome. Fans were great.
Yeah, and it's even more important on a Thursday night when, if they're planning on seeing other games, because so many people that would like to see the Buckeyes play are going to get a chance because it's a Thursday night game. We are the home team, is that correct?
We are.
So the last couple of times we've been in Lindale, obviously playing Lindale, we're going to be the visiting team. But last year in the playoffs against Canton, we were the visiting team.
Right.
This year we're going to be the home team.
Correct.
So we will be in the big side of the stadium. So lots of fans to fill up all those seats. And I think you got a lot to be excited about as a Buckeye fan. So any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
Excited about where we are and looking forward to this next phase.
I am too. It starts Thursday night, 7:30 against the Mahia. It's Black Cats, right? Mahia Black Cats, Thursday night, 7:30 by district. It's trophy time for the Buckeyes. So until then, for myself and Coach Alan Metzel, we'll see you Thursday night.